to a place where we'll all be free. Follow me. Follow me. Follow me. Follow me. Yeah. Follow me. Follow me. Follow me. Follow me. Follow me. Yeah. Follow me.
I want to teach us a song. Is that all right? I want to talk about God's love for us and how his love is unconditional. And how his love is unconditional and it brings favor. Hallelujah. Anybody glad for God's love? No greater love than this, that a man will lay down his life for his friends. Listen, let me teach you this. Listen. Your love is favor. We feel it favor. Your love is favor. We feel it favor. Next part, this is what you're gonna say. Listen. Favor. We feel it favor. We feel its favor. Come on, sing it with us. Your love is
favor.
We feel it.
We feel it, babe.
Unconditional.
Your love is favor.
We feel
it, babe.
Come on, sing it from your heart. Tell it. Your love is
favor.
Ooh, we feel
it, babe.
Thank you, Lord.
Your love is favor.
We feel
it, babe.
Come on, next part. Everybody to the right. Let's go.
Yeah. We feel it, babe.
Yes. Come on.
Yeah. We feel it, babe.
Take it back to the top. Come on. Your love is
favor.
Hallelujah. We feel it.
We feel it, babe.
No greater love than this great love. Come on.
Your love is favor.
Your love for me.
We feel it, babe.
Come on, let's go out. Everybody. Say yeah.
Yeah. We feel it, babe.
How we receive it by faith tonight, Lord. Come on. Hey.
Yeah.
Here we go. 1, 2.
He's alive. He's alive.
Come on.
He's alive. He's alive. He's alive. He's alive.
Say it again. Hallelujah. We receive it by faith, God. Your care for us. Your love for us. 1, 2. We can no longer sit down and endure all this pain. Sherry been talking long enough, and nothing has brought a change. So I'm gonna join with you as you join with me. Together, love
views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast.
Macon in Middle Georgia. It's time for Village Talks with Tia and LJ. Join them live every Wednesday from 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. right here on the Glory 107.9 FM, 980 AM WDDO. Log on to the Glory 107.9 FM on Facebook or YouTube to become a part of the conversation. Let's go live into the studio for Village Talks with Tia and LJ.
Is your child struggling with reading, writing, learning loss, and a culturally irrelevant curriculum? Do you want your child to be outstanding at reading and writing and also take pride in their culture? Then you want Reading Revolution Online. Reading Revolution Online is a web-based reading support program. We serve scholars in grades K through 8, and through our innovative approach, we help them build reading confidence and cultural identity development, equipping them for success in school and life. They learn about Black heroes and sheroes through captioned videos, reading selections, and other activities. Reading Revolution Online is an experience for the whole family. Do it for the culture. Go to readingrevolution.org and get your membership today.
Hey there. Good evening.
Good evening, good folks.
Hey, welcome to Village Talks. We are Making the Middle Georgia's freshest radio show and Godcast, bringing you conversations centered around community and culture. From right here in the 478 and beyond, I am your co-host, LJ. And right here to my immediate left, it's the drum roll. The beautiful, magnificently gorgeous, so sweet and nurturing, supportive, so intelligent, just spiritual, God-loving, blessed, guided, protected co-host.
Tia, peace and blessings, good people. Thank y'all so much for joining us today. We appreciate y'all.
Yeah. We are feeling good today. This is the first, this is our first show for Black History Month.
It
is. Yeah.
It's our 40th episode.
40th episode.
We on episode.
Yeah, and this actually the 100th. We didn't even talk about this yet, off off air, but this is the 100th anniversary of Black History Month. Well, it began as Black History Week 100 years ago to this year. So, shout out to Carter G. Woodson for starting this thing on now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, but
big ups.
Yeah, well, it's a lot of stuff going on around here. I'm feeling good today about this show. You already know we had a very, 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 very special guest in here today. Mr. Kirkland Hodges. They call him Abijah. I'll just call him Unc. Yeah. He's like another, like a father figure to me. And just a great all-around person. He's done so much for us here. But I can't wait till we get into our questioning and interview with him. But right now you got some good news for us to share.
Yeah, so let's get into what's coming up around Macon in Middle Georgia starting this weekend. So on Saturday, February 7th, from 9 a.m. to 12 p.m., Keep Making Bid Beautiful is hosting Hands on Bloomfield, a neighborhood cleanup and day of service. Volunteers will meet at Village Green Park on Village Green Drive or the Rocky Creek Foods parking lot on Rocky Creek Road. Supplies will be provided, which will include gloves, safety vests, and litter grabbers. And this is a great way to give back and to show some love to the Bloomfield community. Also on that same day, the Market Movers Academy will be kicking off, which is presented by 100 Black Men of Macon Middle Georgia and Wealth ASAP. This program empowers young peoples aged 12 to 19 through hands-on trading and financial education. No prior trading experience is needed, but participants must have reliable transportation and access to a laptop or tablet. Registration closed on February 1st, but it is not required for sign up for the teams. And there are cash prizes awarded for the top 3 teams. And then next, February 28th, which is the last Saturday of Black History Month, from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. Families are going to be invited to the Black Family Reunion at Carolyn Creighton Park, formerly
Yeah.
Central City Park. Yes, this is going to be an all-day celebration, which is going to be brought to us by Roscoe Tours and Bishop and Apostle. Yeah.
Yeah.
And this all-day celebration focuses on unity within the Black community, and includes live music, spades, dominoes, and chess tournaments, team games, vendors, food, and free family photos. This is a substance-free event with security enforced and positive vibes only. So families and organizations are encouraged to RSVP if bringing tents and grills. Vendors are encouraged to contact us directly so they can sign up for those vendor spots. And then looking ahead into spring, Making Black Culture is now accepting registration for the third annual Juneteenth Junior Debutante presentation. The program is open to girls currently in fourth through seventh grade, and focuses on confidence building, cultural pride, and sisterhood, culminating in a debutante presentation during the Juneteenth season. The registration fee is $100, and the deadline to sign up is March 30th. And that is what's happening in Macon and Middle Georgia.
For sure.
Yes.
That's-
And really quick too, I just want to thank everybody for all the love, the birthday wishes, and the calls, the texts, and all of those good things. I really appreciate everybody who's reached out to show me some love. Thank y'all so much. I always appreciate my village family.
Yeah. Happy birthday to you.
Thank you.
Happy
Thank you,
birthday.
baby.
Yeah. We definitely enjoyed. I enjoyed your birthday.
Yes.
For sure. Yeah. And one more time, real quick, for everyone that's listening to us on the radio on 107.9 FM or on 980 AM, be sure to also know that you can listen to us on the live stream, right? So you can come to the live stream on Facebook and on YouTube. We have some folks that are checking in with us now on YouTube and Facebook. But make sure that you know that if you're on the radio, listening to us on 107.9 FM or 980 AM in Macon, Middle Georgia, you also can come join the conversation on the live stream on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitter, or on the Glory app or Apple App Store or Google Play Store at WDDO.live, right? So we everywhere. You know what I'm saying? We everywhere.
Absolutely.
So you can check in with us. And we appreciate our village family for always checking in with us. What's going on, Tony? Tony checking in with us.
That's
The
right.
engineer. Edward James, who's my brother Head. He says happy cake day to you, Tia.
Thanks, Ed. I appreciate you.
Yeah. And also shout out to my brother Chuck Henderson. He's about to pull up with us too, y'all. Every first Wednesday we have our Capona edition, whereas the Healing Code, where we focus on mental health from a culturally centered perspective. Primarily, Black mental health, but just in general from a culturally centered perspective and just mental health, period. No matter who you are, you could benefit from these conversations. But we definitely focus on Black mental health on these first Wednesdays. So just very fitting with this being Black History Month that we started off right, like this. And Brother Chuck is also part of the Homeland Village family. And he'll be pulling up here shortly. And shout out also to another special guest who's been with us on the regular. She's not gonna be with us today. She has some stuff going on at work. But that is Miss Adrienne Howard. She's a licensed marriage and family therapist.
Yes.
But she brings some heat side conversations too. But yeah, today she's not gonna make it. But we are gonna be building today, Capona style. So
That's right.
just letting y'all know. But we have a caller. We have somebody checking in with us. Miss T.I.
Hey, caller. Are you there?
Yes. Hi. How are you?
I'm doing well. Who do I have the pleasure of speaking with?
This is Shelton Land, Dr. Land from the Douglas Theater.
Hey, Dr. Land, how you doing?
Dr. Land.
Hey, I'm doing excellent. How are you all doing?
We're doing great.
Outstanding, sir.
Yes. Is it
Yes,
something you
sir.
want to share with the village?
I do. First of all, let me give a big shout out to the village. Thank y'all for creating this platform, for people to share and to give like what's going on. And I had to call in today It's, because it's the Douglas Theater's 105th anniversary this year. And so I thought the world and the community should
That's
know
what's up.
about that right there.
Can you say that one? Can you say that one more time? It's the Douglas. What?
Yeah, 105th, the Douglas Theater. We are 105 this year, so that's the number we going with, 105. So that's real strong for a Black institution.
150 years.
105 years.
Oh, 105. Okay, I was about to say, whoa.
Yeah. Now, Mr. Douglas would be 156 years old because his birthday is this month. So he would have been 156 years old. Mm-hmm.
Awesome.
Yep.
Awesome.
Oh, that's awesome news.
Yeah, definitely.
Like
and we just got a lot going on this month. Just wanted to share with everybody, as we kick off our homecoming week. We got a soundtrack of love and history tribute show in honor of Mr. Douglas' birthday on February the 14th. We're just trying to raise the bar for Black History Month. We got a cake and wine toast on his actual birthday, which we would like to invite the community to come out to, which is on Tuesday, February the 17th at 6:30. Free wine and some free cake, and we're gonna toast it up for Mr. Douglas. Getting the community to come in, and just for this cultural treasure that he has created. And I just got to give a shout out to Visionary Communications as well. They've been helping us to raise the profile around our 105th year anniversary. Clarence Thomas and, Visionary Communications, and to you two as well for, again, creating this platform where we could share, things like this with the community, because oftentimes people miss information or miss what's going on. So I'm so grateful and appreciative of that. Mm-hmm.
Definitely. Yeah, we appreciate you. And for people that want to keep up with what's going on at the Douglas Theater, can you let folks know how they can do that? Because there's always something going on at the Douglas, and it's a shame sometimes that people miss some of these amazing events, because there's some groundbreaking things that are happening at the Douglas. Like, seriously. So can you let people know? Yeah, can you just let folks know how they can keep up with the Douglas?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So they could just go to our website, Douglas, DOUGLASS, theater, and theater is THEATRE.org. All of our events are listed there. They can call the theater at 478-742-2000. They can follow us on social media. Everything is the @ the word the, like the Douglas Theater. And they can tap in with us and keep up with everything. So we make sure that we keep our menu of events. And like you said, we always have something going on. We're always doing something, especially for this 105th year anniversary in February. Not only are we lifting up, Black History Month, we're lifting up, resilience, because that's what the Douglas is. It's a resilient space, a Black space where African-American and creatives can come and thrive and feel safe while doing it. So, we just really want people to tap in and join us. There's something going on every week, from movies, films, shows, everything. Whatever you can think of, we got it.
No doubt about it. No doubt. We got to get you on the show real soon, Dr. Land. Like very, very soon.
Absolutely.
Oh, I will definitely welcome it. I definitely will welcome it. I'll come chop it up with y'all. Most definitely. I tune in online. So I definitely would love to be a part of it. So, shout out to you two again. Mm-hmm.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Shout out. You had a couple of your folks that have been in here with us too lately. It's Deidre Taylor. She was in here with us in December, and then Muse Dixon was here with us a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, so we gotta get the director of the Douglas celebrating 105 years. Like, yeah, we gonna get you on soon, Dr. Lynn. We can't wait to have you on. And feel free to share the flyers and things with us. And if you could put some of the information, I know you said the cake and wine toast. Again, y'all, that is going to be February 17th, which is a Tuesday. But yeah, any of the flyers, make sure you get them to us so we can share. Or if you want to call in, we are more than happy to make sure that everybody knows what's happening at the historic Douglas Theater.
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate you both. All right now. So good deal. All right now, and I'll talk to y'all soon, okay?
All right. Talk to you later, Dr. Lamb.
All right now. Bye.
All right. Yeah, so and also shout out to the Tubman Museum. They had their All That Jazz event. this
Oh,
past
yeah.
weekend. Yeah, so I saw the pictures, heard a lot about it. I heard it was a really phenomenal event. So, shout out to everyone over at the Tubman doing good work and all of our folks that are supporting our cultural institutions because they definitely need supported, right? But
Absolutely.
we got a man in here that he's created a cultural institution, and
Absolutely.
that institution is creating creatives that create other cultural institutions.
That's right.
And he sparked the minds, and he's really helped me with my journey. Period. Just as a person, spiritually, culturally, in so many different ways. And it's just as an example of someone who don't talk about it. They be about it. And built it with his own hands. Well, I ain't gonna tell his whole story. He gonna tell his own. But hopefully, Tony, we ready to bring on our special guest this is yet. Oh, there he is.
Oh yes, y'all.
There he is. Who's that? Who's that fella right there, Tia?
If y'all don't know the man, the legend, the legendary, the fabulous Mr. Kirkland Hodges, aka Abijah, aka Unc, aka Mr. Magnificent, Mr. Ghana, Mr. World Traveler,
Owner and founder of Homeland Village Cultural Center.
Yes, sir. Thank you so much for joining us today, Abijah.
Thank you. It's an honor to be here, and I'm so pleased to be in the presence of you two great people. And I want to first congratulate you all for the great things that y'all are doing, the phenomenal things that you all are doing in the community as well. And I'm just happy. I'm happy to be here with you.
Yeah, we happy that you're here with us, sir. Very much so. Well, we're gonna keep it going for the sake of I'm sorry on the radio. It looks like our live stream went out or something. But in regards to what we have going on right now online, I'm sorry. I was going to shout out who we have in the chat. I'm making sure that the chat didn't go out. Tia looking crazy. Like, what are you doing? For the last few weeks, we've had a couple of technical difficulties. I'm making sure it didn't happen again. I'm a little shell shocked. Okay. Yeah. But anyway, I was about to shout out what's going on in the chat. Tia, like, what you doing? You're on the radio, man. I do know I'm on the radio. We live on the radio, y'all. So the live stream ain't all. Our folks on the radio like, hey, look, we know the live stream ain't working, but the radio is. Y'all better keep talking. Yeah, but anyway, I just want to shout out Rasul Salim. He says, peace and blessings, everyone. Great show and blessings to the best host.
Thank you so much.
I appreciate that.
We appreciate you always.
Yeah, then Head Edward James, he says, hate they demolished the Douglas house. Yeah, that is a shame.
They've demolished a lot of historic homes here.
So. Yeah, historic spaces, cultural spaces, definitely.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so to get back into it with our special guest, if you could tell, for those who don't know who you are, who may not know about Homeland Village, which LJ, put it so nicely as far as you being someone who has, bridged or created this space for creatives and people to go into other spaces and create spaces. Can you tell us about who you are and what life experiences led you to build Homeland Village?
Yes. My name is Kirkland Hodges. A lot of people know me as Abijah, Brother Abijah. And I'm homegrown from Macon, Georgia, and was born, raised, educated here. And I just... to me, I never see myself as something extraordinary. I'm just a person who just focus on trying to help the community, try to be someone that people can identify with and relate to, and provide a service that the community needs. In Macon, I saw where it was a lot of despair, a lot of disenfranchisement, and things that where we weren't really included in a lot of things, power things that was going on in Macon, and the fact that we held up over half of the population of Macon, I thought that things should be better for us. And I saw opportunity, a vision came to me in the mid 90s, where I was, I'm a contractor by trade, a builder, and I was looking for a building because this was, I had a couple of buildings that I was renting, and I was looking for a building to buy. So I stumbled across this building down on Napier Avenue, And I got in contact with the people who owned it and was talking with them about purchasing it. It was of course an empty building, and there was a lady who owned it that used to have a construction company there, and so I talked with her, and she was willing, to sell it to me, and also help me to to get the building by financing it for me. 'Cause back then, really, I was a struggling contractor, and I didn't really have the best credit and things like that. So I just feel like it was meant for me to have it, and
Right.
because she did all she could do to help me get it. And so I purchased the building in 1996, and it was a long process to get it back to a point where it was, a place where we could call a homeland village. So it
Right.
took about 5 years working out of my pocket, to renovate it, and that's pretty much what I did. I took my time, all the material from old jobs and stuff I had, I would take it and just put it into the business, into the building. And in 2001, we had a grand opening for Homeland Village.
2001.
Yes.
So,
So this is the 25th anniversary.
Yeah. Yes.
oh wow.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
So we need some 25th anniversary stuff going on. This is a whole celebration field year this year for a lot of our cultural institutions. So that's awesome. Yeah, this is also the 35th anniversary of making Black Pages, right? And there's also the 55th anniversary for Habersham Records.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
yeah. Everybody was doing big things.
Yeah, I worked with your uncle when he bought his building. I did a lot of work for him.
Right. Yes, sir. Yeah. You all right, so Homeland Village is, for people who don't know what Homeland Village is, right? Because, I personally have told a lot of folks about Homeland Village over the years. And it's one of it, not my favorite place in Macon, Georgia. Other than Habersham Records and the Indian Mounds, that's my favorite. Both of them, all of them, they're my favorite place in the entire Macon, Georgia, right? And and it's a place where you come into and you feel like it's just a feeling that you get when you come in. Like it's so serene and it's so peaceful. And like I've had plenty of days when I've had like bad days or or just had been dealing with negativity or just dealing with certain stuff. And I come inside Homeland Village and it's like everything just vanishes, like it disappears. And I know you get that all the time, like people that just they get this feeling when they come in there. And and then when I came in and I saw the books over there to the right, and then I saw the clothes and the bitters and this and that over there. I was like, oh wow, like I just couldn't believe we had so many different things in this one space. So, tell us what is Homeland? What is the Homeland Village experience for people who haven't been there? Shame on you. I'll just play. Yeah, but for folks who is, you are a sponsor of Village Talks, and we appreciate you for that as well. But for those who haven't been to Homeland Village, like what can they expect when they come inside of Homeland Village?
Well, we expect you to first just embrace the energy and just be yourself and understand that we have a culture, and that culture encompasses everything that a village is supposed to have. It's supposed to be concerned about your health, your spirituality,
Right.
your just anything that a village is supposed to have for the people of the village.
Right.
It encompasses hopefully to encompass everything. It's a place where people come and just have conversations and try to come up with solutions as to what's going on in our community, and just work together to try and solve them. The whole concept came about from me being introduced to Kwanzaa back in the early 80s. Based on those principles is what I tried to do with Homeland Village,
Right.
And so I wanted to encompass us, highlighting those principles where, where the young people can have a roadmap as to what they should be doing at an early age, pouring back into what is pouring into you.
Absolutely.
I love win-win situations where everybody that's involved is winning. Nobody's losing. So
Right.
that's one of the concepts I wanted to bring with Homeland Village is we nurture children. We teach them habits that are going to be beneficial for them to use as they grow in life. Teach them self sufficiency. How to be independent and not depend on everybody, other people for everything that you need.
Right.
Because I learned at an early age that you have to you have to work if you want to if you want to have things you got to work for them. And
Right.
so I learned that through my grandparents, and they taught me things like gardening, fishing. Uh, I I probably one of the best dishwashers a 10-year-old could be, because I washed a lot of dishes coming up as a kid, and my grandparents, they owned a little store. So I learned how to operate a store, how to do business inside of a store and stuff like that from, I think I was in the third grade when they first bought it. And, I worked there every day. I would leave school and go straight to the store and work there from like 4 o'clock to 8 o'clock. And then I go home, do my homework, and go to bed, and wake up the next day to do it all over again. So, those work ethics, really was nurtured at an early age for me. So
Right.
I'm happy for for the fact that they taught me those things. And
Right.
yeah.
So train up a child in the way they should go.
Yes, absolutely.
They will not depart from it. That's right. And I just real quickly before we get into the next question, I just want to shout out the chat. We have Commissioner Bryant says hi all. Hey Commissioner.
Hey there.
Thank you for joining us. Sade Davis, my good sis. Hey good people. Hey.
Village sister.
Village sister. And then we have Mr. Demario Pitts. Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Demario. Thank you for joining us. Randy Crawford says hello all. Hi, Randy. And my good sis Kia Boo says, hey y'all. Hey Abby.
Yeah.
And then she says, we love Homeland Village. Absolutely. And I just want to
Thank you.
briefly tell my story of my introduction to Homeland Village, because my introduction to Homeland Village was my introduction to LJ Malone. I met LJ sitting on the bench downtown in between the streets of Marbury. And he saw me reading the book.
I did.
And he was so shocked and surprised. But one of the things that he did tell me in that first encounter was he thought that I would love Homeland Village. And so I want to say it was that same day, if not, because I think you might have been closed. But that next day that you were open, I made it to Homeland Village, and that was my introduction to you, to the books of Homeland Village, to just the space. And like you said, it feels as though there is this energy there that just makes you want to, be better. You want, you have this spiritual connection, and you want to, work through everything that is there in that space. And so with that, what role do you believe cultural spaces play in healing, especially in Black communities that have experienced displacement, erasure, or misrepresentation, which I feel like Macon specifically deals with a lot of those things. So how do you feel like Homeland Village is playing a role in the healing of our community?
I think it's playing a very vital role because you have to have access to the information, so you can learn, continue to grow, and become the complete person that we were all meant to be. We all put here for a divine purpose. Absolutely. And you have to learn what that purpose is. So being connected with your cultural roots will definitely put you on the right track to doing that. So I think it's very necessary. That's my purpose for starting Homeland, because I know that so many people here didn't have access to the basic things that they needed in order for them to aspire, and do greater things in life.
Right. One thing that one of the main things I think that really stood out to me about Homeland Village more than anything, right, is I've been on like a spiritual journey. I love history my whole life, so I've always read any and every book I get my hands on. I wanted to always ask all the hard questions, or good, as I say, going to the rabbit hole with a lot of stuff. I was going to school, going to theology school myself. Tia's been to theology school, Christian ministry and stuff like that. And growing up in, like I would say, the Bible Belt here in Macon, Georgia. Sometimes we don't have as much what's the best word to say? Like religious tolerance.
Right.
Where people can be open minded to other people's way of serving the Creator, or having a relationship with God, just connecting with themselves spiritually and historically and culturally. And one thing I really respect about what you've done at Homeland Village is if you go into the book section, right, you see the Bible, you'll see the Quran, you'll see the Bhagavad Gita,
Yes.
you'll see, I've seen, Talmud or Torah, Tanakh, for Judaism,
Yeah.
um,
Ethiopian Bible.
yeah, Ethiopian Bible,
Yeah.
which is the oldest
Yes,
Bible per
yes.
se, but yeah, but you have so many other books about our history and our culture, and and even about mental health, about our food, about our diet.
Right.
There's just so many children's books. You have so many different books, information that's available for so many different paths that people want to take. And like, what was your motivation behind that? Like being able to, because I know even there might be certain books or certain things that you have in Homeland Village that you might not have necessarily, I don't want to say read, but you might not subscribe to, or that might not be your particular path, in connecting with the Creator per se, but you still have that availability for our folks. You ain't got nothing too crazy than that. Like, yeah, but I haven't seen no satanic Bibles and none of that.
No, you're not
I mean, yeah, we'll do none of that. But you do have quite an array of different things in regards to different spiritual backgrounds. What was your motivation behind that, and how is that then of significance to how you operate at Homeland Village?
Well, we are a very diverse people. We come
Right.
from all kind of different backgrounds and tribes and things like that. Africa is a very vast continent, so
Absolutely.
there's a lot of different dialects, a lot of different, languages and cultures and stuff. So it's not, monolithic.
Right.
It's several things. So I wanted to encompass everybody. I want there's no right and wrong when it comes to your culture. It's just what's sustainable to you. It's what makes you a better person. What makes you inclusive to the whole group.
Right.
Of the people in the village. And
Absolutely.
we all play a role. So
Right.
yeah, that's why I have a vast supply of different books and stuff on different religion, different cultures, different aspects of our spirituality.
That's awesome. That's awesome because we are not a monolith. And I think that when we talk about unifying, and especially like LJ mentioned, being in the Bible Belt, Christianity is a huge religion here. And so a lot of times different religions might get looked at negatively, or, when you talk about spirituality, the fact that you have, incense and things like that, some people may look at that with a lens that may not be positive.
Yeah.
And so I think that it's important for us to, check out the space and understand the importance of a space like Homeland, where you can come if you're on a spiritual journey, to figure out, what your specific path is, and not to be in judgment to anybody or on their path. And I think when we do that, that helps, us to bridge the gap, and also to connect and to let our children know that, it's okay for them to ask questions.
Yes.
Some things might be perplexing or things like that. And with that, we have a comment or a question from our chat. Zakia Muhammad is asking, what are some ways we could get more of the youth to come out and experience Homeland Village, because it's definitely a great hidden gem in Macon?
Okay. Yes. Great question. At the present time, I'm working in the backyard, trying to create a situation where children can come and we teach them about growing, food, like growing our own food, about building our own. Like I said, I'm a builder, so I'm always trying to teach other people how to build,
Yes.
and just independence. Just teaching. I truly believe in the doctrines of Honorable Marcus Messiah Garvey. Which is number one thing is to teach us. We can provide for ourselves.
Right.
We don't
Right.
we don't really need to be dependent on the government and stuff. For handouts. For hand me downs and stuff. Because we need to raise our standard of living by eating properly, because that
Right.
helps us with our functioning. How we can get more things done. Be on a higher energy level where we do more things in the community and just focus on our issues.
Right. Absolutely. And so I know we've talked a lot about the books, about the space being, a healing space. Can you tell us about any of the other offerings at Homeland Village? Because I love the clothes. I'm gonna just say personally,
Yeah,
I love the clothes,
yeah.
the African attire. Can you speak a little bit more about just some of the different things that you offer at Homeland Village?
Okay, yeah, we do have a large selection of Afrocentric clothing and fashionable clothing and very unique stuff. Because we are very creative people, and
Absolutely.
I go to the continent. I travel there quite often, and some people think too often, but not me.
So you
But
be ready to go when you
yeah,
get back.
yeah, yep, exactly. But I travel there, and I really. My eyes are open so wide when I'm there because there's so many amazing things that's going on there. People, and it's so normal for them. It
Right.
seems like it's just second nature for them to just be able to be so creative. Because they hadn't. Of course, they've gone through their trials and tribulations as well, but they always been on their own soil. So the creativity and the culture and stuff, remain them because it's something that is always taught, and so I go there and buy clothes and artifacts, things that symbolize our culture, and we also have health and beauty products, which a lot
Right.
of us, I get a lot of people coming in for that because we do have people who tried the more conventional medicine and feel like it really is not serving their purpose.
Right.
So, and they're getting information about, a more holistic approach. So, they are coming for those type things, and we try to help them out with that. We have musical instruments.
Yes.
We have, like I said, the oils and incense. We have some jewelry, and it's just a center where you want to come and just be a part of it because we have a lot of good conversation. We have a round table where we come and just talk about anything under the sun, as long as it's edifying and beneficial for us to build. So it's an
Yes.
open forum for as long as you come with good intentions, and when you walk through the door, it don't matter what intention you had, it's going to turn into good because the place just kind of it warrants that.
Absolutely.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, we got our brother Chuck enter the building with us right now. Can you hear us, brother Chuck? Can you hear us?
Oh yeah, I can hear you.
All right,
It's okay.
Need your mic a little closer.
yeah, he's on the mic a little closer. Yeah, brother Chuck has been very instrumental too, for me personally, even culturally, spiritually, the whole nine. I've been building with brother Chuck for a while. He's like a big brother to me at this point for sure. And we started our building with you, in Homeland Village.
Yes. Yes.
We had a lot of very positive conversations with different folks in there, about all kind of stuff. We've learned so many things from the books, and just conversations we've had with you and others have been there. And I'm just appreciative of having that in my life. Just having brothers like you, Chuck, and the mentor and a figure like yourself, Abijah. So I appreciate you. But brother Chuck, you got something that you want to say? You just stepping in, what have you? You got any, got a question that you want to ask, a statement, anything that you want to come off the top with?
Not really. I mean, as far as I just appreciate, Brother Kirk for what he's done as a staple for, Black history in Macon, Georgia. And I think he doesn't really get, the recognition he deserves. Because what people don't realize, I'm coming in late, but he probably already said it. When you go into the establishment, that's where he lays his head, right? That's his home, So the title, the name Homeland Village is
on numerous levels, and so he welcomes people into his home. I've seen Brother Kurt purchase people vehicles who didn't have vehicle, who may come and help him out work. He's giving people places to stay, things of that nature. So he exemplifies, Black culture. And I think Macon, Georgia needs a lot of it, and we'll be in a much, much better shape. But really, the whole nation needs a lot of it. I traveled California to New York, south of Florida to top of the map to Alaska. I never seen a place like Homeland Village. I've never witnessed a place like Homeland Village. I mean, from, like he said, even when you walk in, the atmosphere,
Right.
it's just so welcoming. And I've witnessed people walk in. My first visit, I know I stayed about 2 hours, and I actually thought it was like 20 minutes, and the funny thing about it, I used to work next door. It never knew what it was. And at the time, a friend of mine had told me about it. And in that period of my life, I was going through some stuff. And Homeland Village put me on a trajectory,
right,
just from his books and things of that nature. But overall, himself,
right,
just being that father, Baba figure, always consistent, always dependable. He just a blessing. He's a Capricorn.
Big Capricorn.
A day before my birthday, and we just clicked.
Yeah, we did.
The reason I'm doing chess and community is because of him.
Awesome.
We did it 2011, 12. We had a chess organization. But long story short, I've seen Brother Kurt do so much and be so influential in individuals' lives,
right,
that it's ineffable. I can't even describe, or even come to give him just grateful for him to be the presence of my life, but like I say, very transformative in my life, and it kind of touches on the subject when we're going to get into dealing with creating conditions of transformation. But this man, very influential. Even with me going to school, he encouraged me to go to school, things of that nature. Very, very influential. And I thank you and commend you, for all the work you've done.
You definitely welcome. And every time you walk through the door, it puts a big smile on my face. So I'm very proud of you, LJ, Tia. You all are the generation coming up behind me. And I'm just really proud of what y'all doing, because y'all taking that baton and taking it even further than what I could. So
yes,
big ups to you all.
And we appreciate you, because that's what it's all about, passing the torch,
Yes.
Leaving a legacy and making sure that, people can carry on and, keep those values and, pass them on to the next generation and so forth and so on. And so with that, I really quickly want to just go to the comments and then follow up with one question. So we have Joe Booz, Brother Booz, who says, "What up, Village family?" Chris Barfield says, "I'm here just staying out of trouble, trying to change for 2026. All right. We just into month 2, Chris. So we're gonna see how that lasts for you. All right. Kim Jenkins says hello to the village. Hello, Miss Kim. She also says Homeland Village Cultural Center, IB, much love. Joe Boo says never too often. I believe he was talking about visiting the motherland. Lewis Young says Homeland Village keeps us connected to the homeland. Thankful for y'all. That is absolutely right. And then Kim says clothes, books, jewelry, health, and beautiful. The atmosphere is everything. Thank you, IB, for sharing Homeland Village Cultural Center. Yes, we appreciate you.
Absolutely.
You're very welcome.
Thank you so much. And then very quickly, I know you have an event coming up that do you want to tell the people about the book signing?
Yes. Dr. Chika Aku, he's been to Macon a few times already, and I'm honored to have him to come to our homeland and do a book signing on February the 21st. And it will start around 2:00 in the afternoon, and we want the public to come out and support it. And this is a phenomenal being. He hosts a tour to Egypt every year. excuse me, something's in my eye. It's burning. But he hosts a tour every year to Egypt, and I'm planning on going this year in June. And just looking forward to him coming here and just blessing us with his knowledge and energy and wisdom. And he has about 4 books out now, and the books are very good books, and we want to come and talk about those.
Absolutely, yeah. He's actually been on our show here before as well. He's been on. He was like our 4th or 5th guest here on Village Talks.
Yes,
Came right before Juneteenth.
Right, and then every single Village Talks, if you've seen our show from the very beginning, before the show comes on, he actually he's a sponsor of Village Talks. So you see readingrevolution.org. That's Dr. Chike Akua's program. So he is phenomenal. Is not even a big enough word to describe who he is and what he does. He's in charge. One of the people in charge of the doctoral program at Clark Atlanta University. But his book that he's going to be, I think that he's going to be promoted. It's going to be the African Origins of Our Faith. Correct? The African Origins. Yeah, you got to get the book. I know me, bro. Chuck has a book. Tia, we have the book.
I got a signed copy, y'all.
Yeah, all of us have a signed copy.
I was trying to pop my collar a little bit.
Yeah, he's been the featured speaker at the Juneteenth Festival this past year, as well as at the Kwanzaa, this past year. So he's been getting it in around here making. But for those who haven't had a chance to, connect with him or his works, please, come to this book signing and check him out at Homeland Village for sure.
He definitely can keep you centered.
Absolutely. Yes. Yeah, and any pastors or preachers, anybody that's, that this is a book you want to get. It talks about the African origins of our faith. It talks about texts and scripture, things that that are 5,000 plus years old that connect with the chapters and verses in scripture that we see in the Bible. So it's something that we definitely need to conversation that we need to have right now. I don't even know, like Pastor Dewey Smith, he's been talking a lot about that lately, and other pastors here locally are talking about that. So it's very, and apostle and bishop here on the station, they talk about this on the regular.
And I think it's important to note too how Abi was saying, we're not a monolith, into how he has all the different books, for your different spiritual paths. Dr. Chike is the same way, where he can speak to you whether you're Christian, Muslim,
right,
Hebrew Israelite, Jewish. It doesn't matter. And I think that's what we have to learn to do as a people when we talk about unity, understanding that our differences are not, what our differences don't matter in a significant amount enough way to keep us from unifying. We can still be united with whatever different religious beliefs or spiritual beliefs. So I think, like LJ said, it's definitely important that we start, getting more empathy and connecting with each other on, a deeper level, because what we're fighting now in this nation, in this city, it's going to take for us to connect in a way that we haven't connected in a long time.
Right. We got to get to the origins of things, because even when we talk about these differences, we have unifying points, so universal principles and things that bind and tie us together. Brother Chuck, he talks about it all the time. We talk about all the time, we talk about culture. Culture, that's what binds us together. These are the principles, the values, the things that we do that hold us together. In our spiritual systems, our scripts and our texts, our different things that we hold dear, our language, you name it, that it unifies us. So we have different ways of expressing them,
right.
But once we come together and realize how
they're similar,
how similar they are,
they really are.
then we were like, wow, man, all this time I've been beefing, or I'm beefing with you, man. It's the same thing, but in a different way. Yes, yeah. But that's we got we'll get into our conversation. You feel free to stick around too. But Brother Chuck is gonna pivot into our other conversation that we're gonna be having about transformation. But I like to just ask you, what is it that I know you're taking your trips to Africa and you're going everywhere and all this and that, right? Because you ain't leaving us. We ain't gonna let you leave us. You know what I mean? But as you're going on and doing different things, or as you see, Homeland Village for as far as what you created with Homeland Village, what is the legacy that you want to be left through what you've done, just in your life in general, and along with what you created with Homeland Village?
The legacy is for me to see our people work together in unity. We have way more in common than what we have that divides us. So we need to work on the things that we have in common, the things that we can build together, and show a need for each other. Not show uh, beef and stuff like that. That things that keep us separated. Because when we do that, the other people win. And we tired of losing. We want to win just like everybody else do. So
That's right.
we can do it, and we can do it on our own. So the legacy I want to leave is for our children to learn from us, but we have to teach them the right things.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely, bro. Chuck, you got something that you want to say as we face? What's on your, whatever you say, whatever you feel, it's on your heart. What's on your heart, bro?
So, I was saying if he want to leave, because really the topic deals with transformation.
Yes.
And I mean, if you want to get transformed or get some help being transformed, spiritually, culturally, Homeland Village is the place.
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? You got this. People travel all over. Come from as far as California.
All
over. Come to and we got people stay right around the corner.
They never heard of it.
Pass by or one time. I remember one time me and you were playing chess and some young boys came in and it's that place that y'all do roots, don't you?
Yeah.
Like what?
Yeah.
We got roots for your roots and herbs, and you get to the roots of your self-identity, but it's just that stick.
The stigma.
Yeah, that stigma is very crippling in our community. Anything that deals with our culture and heritage, African center is deemed as demonic or things of that nature. But if you study history, if you understand the formation of the church, the AME church, Pentecostal church, the movements in Islam, things of that nature, the Haitian Revolution of 1804,
right.
These things were successful due to their culture being intact. Even Black Wall Street, that was group economics, cultural group economics. These people understood. They had cities named after African countries. Like in North Carolina, it was similar to Black Wall Street. It was called Haiti, North Carolina. That's Haiti's original name.
Haiti.
Yeah, Haiti. And it was $1 million neighborhood. Black in the early 20s.
Yes.
Right.
People were very, very cultural, and now, but that's the tactic, is to make it seem as if our African heritage and culture is something to shun or run away from or demonize.
Yes.
When it's truly what makes us who we are, but that's all. But like I say, Brother Kurt, I would love, if you could stay.
Yeah.
We're speaking on transformation, creating conditions for transformation. This is the new year. Everybody coming to January, they want to have the New Year's resolutions that only last probably 3 days. So we just want to touch on the topic. We in February.
Right.
We want to touch on it from a African centered and also a neuropsychological perspective, dealing with how both of these can actually aid you in your transformation process, or whatever you're trying to, whatever you're trying to do to better yourself or edify your condition.
Absolutely. And with that.
Oh no, I was going to tell everybody, if you're listening right now, share this, share. If you're on the Facebook or the YouTube live stream, share this in your social media, on your social media platform. Do that so as many people can watch and hear this as possible. Of course, you can go back and check out the replays. We put out the clips and stuff like that. But please share this. We're asking everyone that supports the Village, Homeland Village, and the Village Talks and what we're doing to share this. That's all I can say.
Okay. Yes, please share, y'all. And if you want to call in, have something to say, give us a call at 478-250-1444. And the accountability check has been put up in the chat, but I'm going to just say it out there so we can get into this, creating the conditions for transformation. So the accountability check question today is, what is one condition in your life or our community that you know needs a change for real transformation to happen? So whether it's on the personal level or a communal level, what is one condition in your life or in our community that you know needs to change for real transformation to happen? And so I want to go to the chat. Y'all can feel free to put y'all answers in the chat, and we'll dig into the conversation. Kim Jenkins says, very beautifully spoken, Brother Chuck. Homeland is an amazing place. I have always enjoyed Homeland Village Cultural Center. Great place to be. Willie Jackson, Ms. Deborah says, hello. Deidre Taylor, get to the root to heal the tree. Absolutely. Commissioner Bryant says, great show. Miss Pam Moss is waving. Hey, Miss Pam.
Yeah.
And then Miss Commissioner Bryant says job. So is that in relation to the accountability check question? I believe in yes. So that's something that needs to change for real transformation.
So what is it? You might ask, what does everybody else in here think about it?
Yeah.
we got to start with
Abijah.
Okay. But what we need for transformation?
Yes, in our community or for you personally.
Yeah. What is one condition? The accountability check question is, what is one condition in your life or community that you know needs to change for real transformation?
Well, I think our wealth, because we base a lot of things on wealth, on finances and stuff, that how we can come up out, from wherever we are at this point, where we feel like we've been deprived of one thing and then another. But I don't consider that just wealth alone is going to do that, because as a people, we function way better as a community, as a building block, where that's why we call it a village.
Right.
A village encompasses everything. You have doctors, you have lawyers, educators, builders. Everything that you need is encompassed in that community, and we need to get back to those values. And family, strong family values is very important too. Each child, each one have to teach one.
Absolutely.
We have to show. You can't just talk to people and tell them what they're supposed to do. You got to show people, because that's something that they can identify with and be. I look at people like Brother Peace. That brother. He talks but he practices everything that he speak on. He live it every single day.
Right.
That's who he is, and he's been a great inspiration in my life. He's someone that I look up to and look for advice and sound advice. So we just need to respect our elders and stop putting grandmama in the nursing home and stuff like that, and keep grandmama at home, because look at the sacrifices that they made for you, coming up and everything. So we just need to honor our ancestors and our elders. Do a better job at taking care of them and stop looking for something out of the sky to come and do for us what we're supposed to be doing for ourselves.
Absolutely.
About you, Brother Chuck.
I agree, with Brother Kurt. It takes a village, but at the same time, a village consists of people, like you were saying earlier, that have a commonality.
Right.
That's working together. So each individual has to take upon themselves and be accountable for their actions, for a village to be a thriving community, and a lot of times that takes discipline. But before discipline, transformation has to take place in the mind. Then the discipline is what keeps it continuous.
Yes.
You see, a lot of times we're not transforming our lives and our communities because our minds aren't in the right conditions to transform.
Right.
From a neuropsychological perspective, our brains are wired for safety, right? So any type of new information or anything that goes against the grain, what you've been taught, your brain is going to automatically reject it. But that's just a feedback mechanism. It's not saying you don't supposed to engage, but that goes about the safety and creating that environment for transformation. And I'll get deeper in that later about the environmental transformation and dealing with different parts of the brain that actually accentuate and help you transform your life. Then upon that, you have to implement the discipline for it to continue, to create some type of transformation. Because if you don't have discipline, it's nothing. But at first, you got to have the place. You got to have the space. You got to have the space for transformation to take place. Some of us call it safe spaces, things of that nature. And it's because in our communities, we are very, very fractured. We're very, very fractured in our culture, fractured as a people. We have lack of trust, things of that nature. So those spaces have to be healed in order for true transformation as a village or a community to thrive. And it's certain pockets around, I've seen in the community here locally and nationally, but we have a lot of work to do.
Right.
Individually speaking, we have to take accountability for our own actions and how we contribute to the community and to the village.
Absolutely.
Right. Yeah, for me, I think there's a lot of things. If I were to say one thing, I think we need to understand the concept of universal principles. Right. I think that right now we deal with so much with relative truth, as opposed to understanding that there is absolute truth.
Absolutely.
Right. And people always talk about how much we need to unify. Right. But a lot of people don't even understand that that's a real thing. Like, we don't realize that this can be achieved, because we don't look at it like a mathematical problem or like basic math. Right. And when you look at certain things, without going too far into it, but when you look at certain symbols like the Ankh, even, right, and the Ankh has what they call a circle, and then you have the straight line. In geometry, that's called nonlinear and linear coming together. We talked about the circumference and the diameter. From that point in the middle, you get that straight line. That's point A to point B, and you get that circle. And that circle and that straight line coming together, right? And us understanding that life in general, like even when we talk about spirituality, we talk about this physical reality that we live in, and how we navigate between both of those as individuals. I don't really think that us as we understand the power that we have just as individuals and as we have as a collective. So when we talk about us having the ability to do for ourselves as individuals and as a culture and a community, a lot of us really believe that we can do it. Right? You know what I mean? Because we're so caught up on thinking about things outside of us, or not realizing the power that we have within us. And you said it earlier, Uncle, about divine purpose. So I can't talk a whole lot about it. I know Brother Tuck's gonna touch on some of these things, but really understanding that there are universal laws and principles. That's what a lot of our ancient cultures rested everything on. Even the cultures we have today, we just don't talk about them a lot, but there's a cause and effect to everything. There are certain when we talk about spirit, talk about mental, we talk about physical. These are three different planes of existence. Like, really, we know this. So understand how to take the unseen, our morals, our values, our principles, and how to turn them into the seen things. Making sure that we're a reflection of the things that are unseen, or the morals and values, the things that really hold us as a people together. Rather than being so capitalistic, just being caught up on, how much I can gain, or the money I can make, or, and people thinking that makes you successful because you as an individual were able to attain these material things. We're not beginning in the unseen values, the unseen spiritual principles that really bring us together. So that's what I want to see, us being rooted in these spiritual principles, these values that truly hold us together, that truly are supposed to create the things that reflect who we're supposed, the things that we see in the physical supposed to reflect those things that we have in the spiritual and the mental. That's what I want to see.
Absolutely. And then I'm just going because I think that what everyone has said kind of encompasses my thoughts, because on an individual and communal perspective, I believe that it's just authenticity, knowing who we are, knowing our purpose, our divine purpose, and being in alignment with the Creator in whatever way and how that looks to you and whatever your spiritual path is to that divine alignment. Like LJ said, that's universal laws. Like Chuck said, that's, understanding safety and discipline. And like Abijah said, that is, honoring and honoring our ancestors. And so when we are, authentic to who we are, walking in purpose and knowing like this is what my purpose is, not having that individualistic outlook. Like if I can accumulate as much money as I want, but what happens with that wealth? How are we distributing it into our community so that our community is a place where we want to have our kids and raise our kids, and we want our kids to stay in that same space as opposed to leaving because they feel like I just got to make it out the hood or whatever the case may be. We have to make sure that we are being authentic to who we are, because our purpose, who we are, is not just a self-serving purpose. Like what we do is supposed to help others. It's not nobody's purpose. Your purpose is not just for you to make $1 million or be a billionaire and be rich and famous, and it's not helping the collective. That's not your purpose. But a lot of us think that we have to get do that. So
Right.
that to me is just encompassing everybody being authentically who we are, and the best way that we can do that is by doing all of the things that we'll be talking about today. And then I just want to quickly read some of the comments with some of the people answering the accountability check question. Kadira Love, she says, village family being better role models for the youth. Just like we had role models, we are now theirs. Absolutely, Rasul. Salim says, having our own African American business schools and everything we need in our community living quarters. Do for self. Cat Cole says, unify. Commissioner Bryant says, mindset. Absolutely. And then we have Kim Jenkins. Macon will benefit from more unity, discipline, and real accountability. Allows for better and stronger mindset, which brings change to many areas. Many areas are unified, and therefore it creates an environment where people do not get to thrive financially, educational, and health. The people begin to ride out from the inside out, and no one benefits from that. The young generation needs a real reset and more support to teach them discipline and accountability. Absolutely. And then Patrick Davis says, as Black people, we have to take voting more seriously on the local, state, and national level. Here in Bill, approximately 30,000 Black voters chose not to participate back in November 2024 election. Kamala Harris lost to Donald Trump in Georgia by just 115,000 votes, but statewide, 800,000 actively registered Black voters did not vote. What's going to happen in 2026, because we have the governor's election and local elections in May. And then Sade Davis says, creating a safe space for transformation is good preparation. Definitely have to make room. Also attending more to the youth, as well as being open to build together. Everybody wants to do everything on their own so that no one else can receive the credit. The kingdom can't be built by one hand.
Absolutely.
Nowadays, everybody's favorite saying is, I don't need anybody, when in actuality, we need each other.
Yes.
Absolutely, absolutely. And so with that, Chuck, we're going to get into the creating the conditions for transformation. You spoke a little bit about it, but can you talk to us more just about like, resistance, willpower, and how we can make our bodies feel safe? Because a lot of times we have, a lot of us are dealing with traumas, intergenerational, so have you. How can we, work through those type of things to make sure that we are moving along the lines of real transformation and not just, New Year's resolutions or, how we do those type of things.
Okay. Willpower is actually it's a biological state, right? And just like even here in the comments and everyone's comments in the chat, how it's a collective, just like your nervous system. Your nervous system is a collective of each and multiple different entities, right? And they have to work in a harmonious fashion. Okay. And when your nervous system is dysregulated, you cannot function. Period. Same as with a community, right? So let's take it from the macro to the micro. The micro is us. The macro is the community. Right. So a dysregulated nervous system, you cannot be truly authentic. Now, we as African Americans in our community, we have been through so much trauma.
Right.
Right. So the key to being able to not really overcome the trauma, because you don't never overcome trauma, you manage it, right? So the key to managing trauma, according to Association of Black Psychologists and numerous of other prominent figures in the psychological and psychiatry field, it goes back to being able to understand yourself from a spiritual perspective, understanding yourself from a cultural perspective.
Right.
That's why Homeland Village is very, very pertinent in our community. But due to our trauma and conditions, we can't recognize that, right?
Right.
We cannot recognize that. But going back to the individual, all right, the personal level of how you can transform yourself. With a dysregulated nervous system, your prefrontal cortex goes into fatigue. All right. Your prefrontal cortex is what gives you the ability to plan and strategize. Okay. That leads to discipline, better choices, gives you that power behind your willpower.
Right.
Now, like I said before, our nervous system is composed of one of the most, beyond our neurological system, you have your enteric system, and that's located in your large intestines and your gut region. You have over 500,000 neurons, more neurons in your gut than you do your spinal cord, right? So now we're dealing with gut. What goes in your gut? Food. Food. So your food is what's going to nourish your body. So if you're not eating right, you're not going to transform. Or should I say, it's going to be very difficult for you to edify your body,
Right.
edify your livelihood, to even make better decisions. You see, we have a protein in our brain called the brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF. That protein pretty much feeds your brain, makes your brain be able to perform neuroplasticity. That gives you the ability to grow new neurons and to be able to change your thought process, because everything begins in the mind. We can speak of politics, we can speak of community, we can speak of religion, we can speak of all these other things. But if the individual within themselves, if their mind is not at the optimal performance, then it's not too much transformation or too much edification is going to take place. You know, so just like I go back to Homeland Village, you want something healthy, good to eat. And I'm not gonna knock any vegan restaurants around in Macon, Georgia, whatnot, you know. But far as different herbs and things of that nature that can help you, you know, help you get your nervous system back in that harmonious state, or what they call homeostasis. You see, and another factor that we have is our parasympathetic nervous system. Okay, a lot of us are living, you know, in that state of fight or flight, and we have normalized that, and we as adults have passed it down to our children. And you wonder why that the local county jail in YDC is flooded with such young offenders, because they're in survival mode. Okay, you want to transform these kids' lives? Teach them how to, or should I say, the food is going to come into play, but teach them how to understand who they are. Yes. Teach them who they are, you know, from a spiritual perspective, you know, from a spiritual perspective. And when they understand that they are they are composed and made in the image and likeness of the Most High God. Therefore, they can navigate through this a little better. They can understand the nature of the impulsiveness. They can, because impulsiveness, that goes back to a dysregulated nervous system.
Right. And I just real quick, because
Mhm.
we've been having a lot of conversations around that, with ADHD and things like that. And, talking to a few people just about like the different things like the red 40 and the, blue food color and all of those things that kind of, add on to the hyperactivity and stuff that we are seeing in kids. And that also plays into, the food deserts and, the lack of nutritional food items and stuff like that. So, it's like a full circle. Like we're living in these areas when, everybody's talking about Black businesses and having spaces that can contribute to the health of our community. At the same time, we're having to fight against all of these negative environmental spaces, that have come from, all of the disinvestments and all of those type of things, the marginalizations. So I just wanted to throw that in there.
Yeah, it's a war.
Right.
It's a constant war, and that's why, again, Homeland Village
Absolutely.
is
a healing space.
A place you can come get healed, you can come get recharged. You can come and develop your strategy for survival, to thrive.
Absolutely.
In the future, I know, brother, you talked about trips, sponsoring, getting tours to go to Africa.
Yes, absolutely.
Last time he was in Africa, I was speaking with a brother I knew who stayed in Pleasant Hill, Baba Ra.
Yeah.
And how long has Baba Ra been in Africa?
It's been about 10 years now.
10 years, yeah.
And doing well.
And then what's the other brother?
Brother Dual Motel.
Yeah, Dual Motel. Yeah, met him at Homeland Village. Yeah. Now he stays, he's building his house in Ghana, right?
He's built, his house is built, and he's farming and doing great. Yeah.
Yeah.
Awesome.
So that's a means of transformation.
Right.
But we don't have to go to that extent. But we gotta transform our conditions, personally, and not primarily not for us, but for progeny, for the children,
Absolutely.
for the future. That's why I try to do all I can do, and we just need to come collectively and really focus on the children. And doing that, that's a part of transformation within myself. I love going working with the kids. That does something to me. That helps me. That helps transform me.
Absolutely.
So that's pretty much it. I know we run out of time. I wish we could have more time. I can really get into some of this stuff, but pretty much far as transforming yourself on a personal level, you have to be able to, number one, you have to regulate your nervous system. And the most easy way to regulate your nervous system is through your food, right? Your diet. And then once you get your diet under control, which comes with a form of discipline. But once the more you get into it, though, the more your prefrontal lobe, or should I say, your prefrontal cortex, the more it will assist you in that transformation. Like I said, we have parts of our brain that wants us to succeed. That's how the Most High God formulated us, to be victors, not victims.
Right.
To be able to be successful.
Yeah, and I don't think we said this before on the show, but I don't know if a lot of people realize, like, even with when you talk about how a God created us to be victors, like even when we look at something as simple as our immune system, and people talk about vaccines and things like that, and how really you just get, they put the vaccines is just you getting shot up with stuff that, like the actual virus itself, so that your body can recognize the virus and then protect you from it, right? So, like, our immune system really is just, we already equipped, like our bodies are equipped to fight off any and everything that comes our way,
Right.
and I don't think a lot of people even realize that, like, how equipped we really are. A lot of times people look at things from a deficiency standpoint. And even when you talk about the mental health part, right? I think one of the main things that really stood out to me in studying a lot of because being around you and just studying in general, but especially being around you, I started studying all kinds of stuff with Carl Jung and all kind of stuff dealing with psychology. But there's one thing when you talk about well, not just you, but in the psychology where they talk about the subconscious versus the conscious. All right. So if you can kind of break that down and build on that about how the subconscious mind works versus the conscious mind, and how our involuntary thoughts really are really in the sense, more important than even our conscious thoughts, or vice versa, how our conscious thoughts move that which is already in our subconscious. Can you build on that just a little bit to make that make sense to the average person?
All right. I mean, pretty much your subconscious is you begin to formulate your subconscious when you're in the womb of your mother, and it's due to the environment that your mother puts you in. All right, and it lasts all the way up to around about 7 or 8 years old, and pretty much solidifies your whole entire adulthood. All right, that's where trauma gets locked in. As a young age, you're a baby, you're in the womb, your mother and father fighting, or you're in a violent environment. These things create the abandonness, the lack of communication skills. All these things are formulated, right? That's so-called your subconscious mind. Now you can control your subconscious mind, right? By going into forms of meditation. And this is being case studies, scientifically proven as well. Because even before you go into sleep, that certain stage between sleep and wakefulness, you're in that stage where it's kind of equivalent to when you was in the womb, right? So a lot of people, when they do transcendental meditation, things of that nature, they should I say, the instructor will instruct the person to get into that state. I think it's the gamma. If I may be mistaken, I think it's the gamma, your gamma brain wave, right? But it's equivalent to when you was in the womb, and also when you're in a toddler stage going up into 6, 7 years old. But that's pretty much what your subconscious mind is. But it becomes solidified. That's the thing. It becomes solidified, but you can amend it, you can change it, you can transform it so that it doesn't override your conscious behavior. Now that goes into detail with meditation, also how you eat, things of that nature. But like I say, food is very, very important because that's what gives you the fuel to be able to that gives your fuel to your brain so that you can transform, and change your condition. So, but yeah, the subconscious, I mean, we go way, way deeper with it. But even when dealing with you can get some people. I've seen some psychologists like Nam Akbar. He could take the Bible, he could take the Quran, and he could do exegetical work to where he could pull and show you how the Bible is breaking down subconscious and conscious psychological states. So you have to just get some of his books, which are at Homeland Village, Dr. Naim Akbar, and that's what really helped me. Even his book, I can't think of it. Lord have mercy. The Thoughts, not it's the Black Man. I want to say Thoughts of the Black Man.
Naim Akbar.
Yeah, Naim Akbar.
No, it's something about transform the black man. So I know exactly what you're talking about. But one of the reasons why I brought it up too, though, bro, Tuck, is because we talk about like the New Year's resolutions and just practical stuff, right? And we talk about conscious and subconscious, or people having the discipline. Even when we're talking about people being able to know things and live them at the same time, right? So if we understood that the things we put in our subconscious, stuff we're reading, the TV, things that the different thoughts or beliefs and things that become ingrained in us, those involuntary, thoughts eventually will override a lot of the distractions, that come to us, so we'll be able to just stay the course. You know what I mean? So that's kind of why, what I say, what I see through that practically, us understanding that, or even we talk about culture, how our culture guides us, and being able to, impart or put, good things in our children or good things in our people, and that becomes our resilience factor, or that becomes that resistance, to fight off all these distractions that we have from, social media and, just influences that come to us in so many different ways, you know, where we as a people or as individuals, you know, we're able to like consciously, you know, fight those things off to keep us off track. You know what I mean? So, you know, that's what kind of the power I saw, you know, in that and seeing that how our subconscious mind drives us. But we still have the choices, you know, in our consciousness to be able to say, hey, look, you know, this is something I logically need to, you know, factor in, or this is something I need to, you know, be able to adapt to, a situation I need to adapt to and make sure I put myself in the right situation moving forward. You know what I mean?
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah.
And so with that, we're winding down. We got about 5 minutes left. So I just want to give some final thoughts, some final words. Abijah, if we want to just start with you, just, you know, give us a couple words to leave the audience with, whether it be about Homeland or just, you know, a life lesson that you can share with us younger folks.
Well, what I like to say and make well known is that the platform that we have here today, where the four of us can come here and exchange ideas, exchange knowledge, and give some kind of focus on the direction we want to go. We have to thank the brother who have made this possible, Apostle Bertice Rozier, because he's an amazing man. You know, I saw him this morning, and you know, and every time I see him, you know, I'm just inspired with the energy that he puts out into the universe, because he, you know, he created this opportunity for you all to start this village talk, you know, and this information is very vital. You know, we really need to have this information going out every week, as what you all do so well, and we just got to give thanks for this brother for, you know, creating this opportunity for us, and
him and Bishop Scott.
Yeah, both. And Tony, you know, because you know, that's what collective work is. You know, how we all work together to build and make things better. You know, and I also want to just share that, you know, no one can be a spectator in their own success. You know, we all got to get out there and do the work that needs to be done. You know, if you don't know what you're supposed to do, you got to, you know, create, you know, a means for you to how you find out, you know. So like, you know, everybody been pushing Homeland Village, and I'm very thankful for it, and because it is there for a purpose, you know. And I welcome everybody who comes in there, you know, in open arms, and I just want us to grow as a community, because Macon has gotten some bad rap, you know, and but I know we better than that. You know, and we got to teach our youth how to get away from that type of lifestyle and get into a way where we become more self-sufficient, self-dependent.
Absolutely.
You know?
Yes. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
What about you, bro? So you got a nugget for us? We hear you.
Oh, okay. I was wondering what happened.
We gonna see you, but we hear you.
Okay. One thing I want to say, Naam Akbar, the book is Visions for Black Men.
That's it.
And he has another one called New Visions for Black Men. And that's the copy you have, right?
Right.
Yeah. At Homeland Village.
Know thyself too. That's the
Yeah. New Visions of Black Men go deep into the psychology, dealing with texts of the Bible, of the Quran, things of that nature. And just it enlightens you, you know. But pretty much just visit Homeland Village. That's my nugget. That's it. You know.
For sure. And catch us right here every Wednesday. And right here we got a Black History Month series going on Village Talk. Appreciate y'all. Peace and blessings.
You've been listening to Village Talks with Tia and LJ. Join them live every Wednesday from 5:30 p.m. to 6:30 p.m. right here on the Glory 107.9 FM, 980 AM, WDDO.
The views expressed on this program are not necessarily the views of the Glory 980 AM, the Glory Media Group, LLC, WDDO AM, its staff, management, or advertisers, but are the views and opinions of the participants of the broadcast.